Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Here in the studio is my good friend Ben, his daughter Mary, and me, your talented host.
Hi.
Thank you for the invitation. We are glad to be here.
Today we're going to look at 3 interesting nouns that are often similar in meaning, but have their own unique uses. Edge, verge, and brink. To start, I'll read 3 example sentences for each word to help you understand when and how they're used. Dear listeners, since this is an interactive section, make sure to repeat the sentences after me. Let's begin with edge. He placed a cup too close to the edge. To the edge of the table. And the cap almost fell. He placed the cup too close to the edge of the table, and it almost fell. She was on the edge. On the edge of her seat. During the thrilling movie. She was on the edge of her seat during the thrilling movie. The athlete was pushed to the edge. To the edge of his endurance during the marathon. The athlete was pushed to the edge of his endurance during the marathon.
You know, edge makes me think about being right at the limit of something, like standing on the edge of a cliff or pushing your abilities to their very edge. It's that sharp boundary where things can change quickly.
Yes, I saw a funny video once where a cat pushed a glass of water to the edge of a table, and then it fell.
That's a perfect example, Mary. Cats are experts at testing the edge of things, aren't they? Let's move on to verge. Quick reminder for our listeners. Please repeat the sentences after me. He was on the verge of tears. After hearing the good news. He was on the verge of tears after hearing the good news. The company is on the verge. On the verge of launching its most innovative product so far. The company is on the verge of launching its most innovative product yet. The flowers on the verge of the road were in full bloom.
In these examples, verge feels less like a physical boundary and more like an emotional or figurative one, except for the verge of the road. That one feels more literal, like the grassy area next to the street.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So, verge is about being almost at a moment or event, right? Like, on the verge of crying means you're about to start crying?
That's absolutely right, Mary. Verge often describes being close to something happening, whether it's an emotional reaction, a big decision, or even a physical location like the verge of a road.
It's like being just one small step away from something.
Exactly, Ben. Verge emphasizes proximity, whether it's physical, emotional, or situational. Let's move on to our last word, brink. And again, repeat the following sentences after me. Try to imagine what is described. If you need more time, press the pause button. The world was on the brink of war. On the brink of war, during the tense negotiations. The world was on the brink of war during the tense negotiations. She felt as if she was on the brink. On the brink of a major breakthrough. She felt as though she was on the brink of a major breakthrough. Standing on the brink of the cliff. He took in the breathtaking view. Standing on the brink of the cliff, he took in the breathtaking view.
Brink seems to have a more dramatic feel to it. It's like you're right at the edge of something critical, whether it's a disaster, an exciting discovery, or even a literal cliff. There's always a sense of tension or anticipation with this word.
Yeah, it feels like brink is used for big or important moments. Like, on the brink of war makes you feel the danger, and on the brink of a breakthrough sounds like you're so close to something amazing.
Exactly, Mary. Brink emphasizes being on the threshold of something significant or transformative, whether it's a crisis, an achievement, or even a dramatic physical edge, like a cliff.
So, brink is more intense than edge or verge. It's like the stakes are higher when you're on the brink of something.
You've nailed it, Ben. That's why we often hear phrases like on the brink of disaster or on the brink of success. It captures that critical moment when everything could change. That wraps up our discussion on edge, verge, and brink. Shall we move on to some practice sentences? I'll read some sentences where key words are substituted by noise, and you should give the right answer. Ben, here's your first sentence. After the stressful meeting, the team was on the verge of losing their patience.
Obviously, verge. The team was on the verge of losing their patience after the stressful meeting.
That's correct, Ben. Verge works perfectly because it describes being close to an emotional or significant reaction. Great job. Mary, this one's for you. The daring photographer stood on the edge of the canyon to capture the perfect shot.
That's definitely edge. The daring photographer stood on the edge of the canyon to capture the perfect shot.
Spot on, Mary. Edge fits here because it refers to the physical boundary of the canyon. Okay, Ben, back to you. The scientist felt she was on the brink of a groundbreaking discovery in her research.
I'm sure it's brink. The scientist felt she was on the brink of a groundbreaking discovery.
Exactly, Ben. Brink captures the dramatic anticipation of a significant moment. Well done. Mary, last one for you. The world was on the brink of chaos during the tense political standoff.
That's got to be brink. The world was on the brink of chaos during the tense political standoff.
Perfect answer, Mary. Brink is ideal for describing a critical or intense moment of near collapse. Fantastic work, both of you. Keep practicing, and you'll master these words in no time. That's it for today's episode of What's the Difference? Great job, everyone. especially Ben and Mary. I hope this session helped you understand the subtle differences between Edge, Verge, and Brink. To all our listeners, thank you for joining us. If you found this exercise helpful, don't forget to share it with your friends, like the episode, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future topics. Keep practicing, stay curious, and as always, happy learning. See you next time